So starting on the hands and knees, but just bring the hands slightly further forward than underneath the shoulders. We're just going to take a little circle through the hips. So bring the hips forward to a hover. Take the hips over to the left side, back towards the heels, over to the right side and back to the heel of the hands. Do that again in that direction, just getting a little movement through those hips. And then take it the opposite direction once you get back to the front. Take it over to the right this time. Back to the heels, over to the left and back to the heel of the hands. Same direction one more time. And then back to the heel of the hands. And then just let those hips sink. Come onto the forearms. Just take a Sphinx back bend. Just for a breath. Push those hips into the floor. Relax the shoulders down. Then bring the hands down by the sides of the chest. Push into those hands. Tuck the toes under. Bring the chest back towards the thighs. Just hold it in that child pose position for a breath with the toes tucked under, just strengthening through the sides of the waist and lengthening through those armpits. Then push into the hands and feet, lift up the hips. Start to paddle the feet as you find your first downward facing dog place. And then bringing those heels into a still position, squeezing them back. Take a breath in, lift your right leg, bring the knee to the chest, gaze in between the hands and step your right foot through. Drop your left heel down, wiggle your left arm up and over, straighten through both legs. Right toes facing the short edge, left toes the long edge. Reach forward with the right hand, bring the right hand down to the inside of that right shin as you reach up with that left hand to the ceiling. Left shoulder stacking on top of that right shoulder and finding and creating some expansion of the chest as you reach down with the right and up with that left hand. Maybe the gaze goes up towards that left thumb. Try and create length down both sides of the torso to make them similar lengths rather than just dropping over that right thigh. Holding it in this space just for one more breath. Then we're going to take it to a reverse triangle, so bringing the shoulders over those hips and then sending your right hand to the ceiling, left hand down either the back of the left leg or find a bind onto that right hip or thigh. Gazing into that right palm, creating that space down the right side body and breathing into that rib cage on the right side. Then bring the shoulders back over the hips, keep the bind of that left hand. Then find triangle again, bringing your right hand down to the inside of that right shin, and the bind of that left hand should keep that left shoulder lifted rather than dropping down towards the floor. Try not to hyperextend in that right knee, give a little bend into that joint. Use the muscles surrounding the joint to protect it. One more breath in this bound triangle. And then lift those shoulders back over the hips, straighten both arms out, bend your right knee, bring the hands down either side of that right foot, toes of the back foot as you raise that right leg up to the ceiling and bring it back down to meet the left. Take a paddle of the feet and a nod and shake of the head. Then bring those heels to stillness. Your next breath in, your left leg lifts. Bring the knee to the chest and step the left foot through, keeping the hips high. But remember, you can drop that back knee if you need to. Drop the right heel down. Wiggle the right arm up and over. Straighten through both legs. Left toes facing the short edge. Right toes long edge. Reach forward and down with that left hand as that right hand lifts. Gaze up to that right thumb, expand the chest, lengthen through the torso, reaching down with the left hand up with the right, right shoulder stacking on top of the left. Think about tucking that left bum cheek under and turning the right hip out. Try not to hyperextend that left knee this time. Push energetically into both feet. We're taking it into reverse triangle now, so bring those shoulders over the hips. Reach up with the left hand, gaze into the left palm. Right hand can come around to bind onto that left thigh or hold onto clothing. Expanding through that left side rib cage, breathing into that space. Then bringing the shoulders back over the hips, keeping the bind of that right arm. Reach forward and down with that left hand and bring that torso to a long line, leaning over that left leg. Push the hips to the right, shoulders to the left. That bind of that right hand helps keep that right shoulder lifted. And the head stays in line with the spine rather than dropping down. Use the muscles in the side of that neck. One more breath here. Then lift those shoulders back over the hips, both arms out wide. Take a bend into your left knee, windmill the hands down, either side of that left foot. Lift that left leg up to the ceiling. Bring it back down to meet the right. Take a paddle of the feet, nod and shake of the head. Breath in, bring yourself forward to a plank position. Release down to the floor, either dropping the knees or straight bodies. Maybe you want to try that hover of a plank. If you're in hover, roll over the toes, lift up the chest, come into a back bend if not. And then take yourself back, either chest to thighs or rolling straight over those toes, lifting those hips and squeezing those heels back. Weight comes into your left leg as you raise that right leg up to the ceiling. Bring that right knee to the chest. Thread your right foot underneath the left and the left foot, left hand, bringing your right side out edge of the foot onto the left side of the mat. Once you've found this space, you can either keep both hands down, the left heel drops to the floor. As you reach up with the left hand, if you're coming with me, to find fallen triangle facing the left. The choice now, you can either bring that right foot away from the floor using those inner adductors to lift that leg. Push into that right hand to support the body. One more breath here. And then release that right foot down, your left hand down. Bring your right foot around. Come to the weight on that left side body. Left side plank, right hand lift. You can drop that left knee if you wish, or keep both legs straight. Taking that side plank on the left side, either both feet stacked or right foot in front of the left. Find a comfortable space for side plank if you can. One more breath here. Then bring your right hand to meet the left. Lift up the hips and squeeze those heels back. Weight comes into your right foot as your left leg lifts. Bring that knee into the chest. Then bring your left foot to the outside edge of the right mat. Bring your left foot down, right heel down. Then raise the right hand up to the ceiling. And then if you wish to raise that left leg away from the floor to use a little more strength on the inside of that left thigh, fallen triangle facing the right. One more breath here. Then release the left foot down, right hand down. Bring your left foot around, roll onto your right side, side plank. Either both legs stacked on top of the other, or left foot in front of the right. Or remember, you can drop that right knee if it feels a little more comfortable to do so. Wherever you're taking your side plank is what's right for your body now. That right hand is your support. Your left hand is the lift to the ceiling and the expansion of the chest. Bring that left hand down to meet the right and find your full plank position. Then lift the hips, squeeze the heels back to down dog. We'll take a vinyasa before we finish. Come forward to plank on the inhale. Choice to drop the knees or come down to the floor with straight bodies, or hover if you wish. Untucking the toes, lifting up the chest. Either making your way back to down dog, rolling over the toes, or bringing the chest back to the thighs. Pushing into the hands, pushing into the feet, lifting up the hips, squeezing of the heels back. Have a nod, shake of the head. Then coming down onto the knees, seat to the feet, shoulders over the hips. Take a deep breath in. Bring the hands to the chest. Namaste.